Hello everyone, this is HESKatsuki here, back with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm 1v1 action, and this time, it is a continuation of the last series, and it is going to be the ace match, the very last game between these two players. It is now down to a best of one, which of course means whoever wins this game will advance to the finals of Red Bull Battlegrounds, and I gotta say, I was actually reading quite a bit on Reddit, and a lot of people are super excited for Red Bull entering esports. Now, they are doing stuff, I think, for League of Legends. I think I saw them tweeting at least about the LCS, but they are also continuing support for StarCraft 2, and it could be an awesome year for StarCraft 2 in 2014. I really want to know, what does Red Bull have planned? I don't know, guys. I don't have I don't talk to the CEO of Red Bull and be like, hey, what's up with those esports? So I'm waiting to hear, just as you guys are. Super excited, though, to find out exactly what they have planned. And Red Bull Battlegrounds, always a big hit, always very fun to watch, and they always seem to just give awesome games, which is exactly what we're seeing right here. Scarlett currently, I don't want to say down a game because it's technically tied, but down those last two games. If a best of three just took place, she would have lost 0-2. And SOS is riding that momentum. You can see Scarlett had a very thought-out plan from the beginning of the series, but it's just kind of crumbling here towards the end. I don't know. I feel like she just hasn't been able to get her stride, has been making mistakes a little bit here and there, and they're really starting to catch up to her. SOS, though, having the resiliency of a true champion. To be completely honest, he is able to hang on, able to keep up the pressure, and able to do what it takes to win, even under tons of pressure. It does look like right now that the drone here may actually get blocked. Was very close to being able to lay down that hatchery. I think, though, that Scarlett knows that hatchery is not going to be happening just yet, as she does start yet another drone. Could actually throw it down, and the probe right there slacking on his duties just a little bit, but this is going to tell SOS exactly what's going on here. I mean, he can just look at the timer on the bottom left side and be like, all right, well, she got her hatchery down at this point. That means that the spawning pool is going to be at such and such time. So even if he hasn't scouted the main base completely yet, it's okay for him to kind of chill back there and see what's going on for just a moment. Is going to go ahead and scout the main base. No surprise there. Does see a spawning pool. Also, double overlords on the way. And I feel like that was not intentional, actually. I feel like maybe messed up there just a tiny bit on this build order, actually, for Scarlett. But for now, we'll just have to wait and see exactly how it goes. Scarlett, though, definitely thrown off a little bit from those last two games. Does have double overlords right now, so is not going to be getting supply blocked anytime soon. She can continue focusing on her macro. Does she go for a third base? Probably going to be a wise choice for her, too, as there is already a natural on the way for SOS. Although, SOS did get his cybernetics core before going for that, and that means that Zerg has got to get prepared a lot quicker than what you see in the standard games, because normally you're going to be seeing the Nexus finishing up right about now, and the cybernetics core a little bit behind it. But for now, this is going to be an early cybernetics core, an early Stalker, which, as Protoss, I love being able to get away with the early Stalker, and actually not going to be going for a Zealot here. Zealots are a unit that is, it's pretty good versus Zerg, especially if you put on a little bit of early pressure, but if you got the early Stalker, that is just as good, as you can kill off any scouting lings, you can kill off any scouting drones. Not going to be too many scouting drones at this stage of the game, but basically scouting overlords as well are at an imminent threat of getting taken out, which is exactly something that Stalker may try and do. There's going to be the double gateways on the way. The build that SOS is using is actually very solid and very good. As a Protoss player out there, I would recommend trying to learn this strategy, and we'll see if Scarlett is able to hold it off. Does she go for an earlier third? Does she try to just get out a bunch of roaches for defense here? I honestly don't know. SOS seeming to be in pretty good shape right now. He's got lots of money, could easily set up a proxy pylon, which is exactly what this probe looks like he's doing. He might actually just try and end this quickly off of 3 gateways. And I do believe those gateways have been scouted. I mean, it'd be kind of silly if they have not. Yep, there they are right there. They have indeed been scouted, so Scarlett knows the threat possibility of a 3-gate timing, and she still decides to go ahead and go for 7 drones here. Is that going to be a big mistake that costs her dearly? We are about to find out. I mean, she killed a tree over here. Guess she's going to kill another tree as well. By the way, trees die when they touch creep. Don't know if you guys knew that or not, but now you know. As the Stalker right here going to be taking on these queens over here, it does look like the creep tumor is going to get landed there, even though there was a Stalker and a Militia Core to go ahead and kill that off. So one thing Scarlett is going to have in her favor is going to be this creep spread not really being that heavily delayed, also working down the ramp and on the left side as well. Not sure if she's going to have nearly enough, though, to take this on directly. She's trying to get up a spine call right here. I think she is macroed too heavily, though, does not really have enough energy for transfuse. Is going to be losing one Stalker right away with that time warp. Now, the Militia Core is not going to be able to save this army by mass recalling home, but this army is just going to be doing way too much damage. I mean, already killing off 1 queen, that is already more than enough to make this attack worth it, and it's one of those situations where if he just retreats right now, he killed 2 queens. And at the end of the day, it's currently a flawless game here. So everything he's killing right now is just getting him further and further ahead and not putting him behind in any way. More lings are on the way. But like I was saying, I felt like Scarlett's build was completely thrown off in the beginning here. So far, a perfect game. 575 to 0 resources lost. I don't even think that super large logo there is going to be helping Scarlett just yet, as she does now have a spine caller trying to run it down the ramp, but just a couple lings with no speed and a spine trying to get in position. These poor lings, though, would love to have speed. I mean, one zealot may go down. Possibly all the zealots will go down, but I mean, this is definitely starting to stack and add up here for Scarlett. This army is going to retreat. Another Time Warp was used there, so that's going to make Scarlett feel that she can't even really leave her base. She can't micro in this area. She doesn't have a whole lot on the field as far as macro is concerned. I mean, she's trying to make more drones, but you know, there's only 41 to 37, and that is not a good spot for Zerg players to be in. SOS may honestly just sweep this game right under the rug and move right on over to the finals, which wouldn't be surprising to me. Like I was saying earlier before, do not count him out by any means. Zergling speed is finally done, and so is that pylon. He has met his demise there, but he definitely paid for himself time and time again. There's nothing, you know, better than a hard-working pylon. You know, you gotta respect that strong labor there that that pylon was putting in. Now, right now, SOS decides not to go for third base just yet. Is actually going to be getting a delayed cannon here. And this is one nice thing about going gateway first, is a lot of times you can actually skip that cannon, save a lot of money in the long run by having not to get as many cannons, and instead have an army in position for defense wherever you need it. But it does look like the pylon is established up on the high ground. That's actually a really good place for a pylon. Does the probe decide to do anything over here? So far, the answer is no. He's just hanging out after playing down that pylon. Again, you know, a hard day's work. Can't really blame him right there. Now, Scarlett, if she can catch this army out of position, that could be huge. It does look like SOS, though. He's gearing up for something tricky here. You can see he's using Hallucinate to go ahead and scout what's going on. He left his army out of sight, and StarCraft shouldn't be out of sight, out of mind, and yeah. Yeah, ignorance is not bliss in StarCraft 2. Maybe for a moment, and then you get attacked by a million things that you weren't prepared for. Scarlett, actually a little bit scared here. She's throwing down multiple spine crawlers. I think that she is predicting an imminent attack. The link right here trying to spot it. Now, Scarlett, I wonder if these spine crawlers are ever actually going to be used, or if SOS is going to macro on the back of this. So far, he's getting 3 more gateways and double immortals mixed on in. The Zerglings would have loved to kill off some of those sentries, but Scarlett knows that it is happening, and happening pretty darn soon. Although with the War Prism, you actually load the entire army into the main base, which might be something that Scarlett does not expect or predict, as that is something that has not happened or used very often. Pylons could even be dropped down here on the back side of the base if she decides to do that. But I just feel like, again, the build never really got rolling for Scarlett. She does have Infestors on the way, which this could be a big role in this next upcoming battle. Well, maybe not. I don't think they're actually going to be out in time. This expansion over here is very, very vulnerable. Scarlett unable to ever really saturate this base now, as those workers have had to transfer away. And I mean, well, actually, we have a pretty big run by over here. It's not really doing all that much damage. Sure, it's killing out Zealots, but that's just buying time for the reset timer. Actually, it's got a mass recall here. So does, I was going to say save the base, but that actually did not happen there. So Scarlett somehow able to get inside the main base. There's an attack going down at the expansion as well, but that's getting held off quite easily. Was able to kill 9 workers. Overall worker count 39 to 45, but Scarlett, I mean, losing that hatchery, I mean, that's devastating. That's literally devastating. That's like at the end of every zombie movie ever, where they finally make it to safety and then they all get eaten by zombies, because that's how all zombie movies end. Spoiler alert, all zombie movies end the same way, but very tragic, very devastating there, and the Infestor almost blocking that hatchery. Thankfully for Scarlett, that did not actually happen. But I gotta say, SOS already working on third base over here, just looking to be in outstanding shape. And at this point, it's his game to win or lose. It's kind of in his hands. Could kill off those rocks there. I want to know, is he going to kill the rocks once they collapse? No, he decides to leave them, realizing that Scarlett's not going to have a whole lot of defense, or excuse me, a whole lot of offense, because she needs to be focusing on defense. That's my brain kind of getting ahead of itself once again. The Ling's got trying to run by, but guess what? Really, no. Well, I guess you can swing around the back. So I was going to say nowhere to go. There's somewhere to go. You just got to take the long route. It's like when your parents want to show you where they grew up, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. They're going to be working their way around. Not sure if he's going to be able to cut off the next. I don't think so. Don't think so at all, actually. Those Lings got trying to gather. Force field trapping Lings. That's when you know you're in trouble as Zerg, is if all of your Lings do get trapped there. And was there even any hull damage? I honestly think that that was just going to be shield damage, which can easily be regenerated using Chrono Boost. It does look like the lair tech that is upgrading into a hive over here has been spotted and will be saved. But Fungals on Zealots, not an ideal situation by any means. Want to save those Fungals for the sentries a little bit later on. The drones here are unloading their minerals, but at the same time, the hive tech is taking so much damage. It's not going to die, but that was so much energy used on Transfuse, and the fact that she may now be losing this base over here, I mean, this is just SOS just walking all over her as Scarlett is unable to catch up, still barely able to kill off these Zealots inside of her main base. She's scrambling around, trying to make something happen. Does have an Ultralisk Cavern on the way, but are one or two Ultralisks really going to win the battle when there's already Immortals on the field? There's Colossus on the field as well, and an easy ability to make more and more Immortals if need be. SOS now has this third base. It's not saturated. It's got one probe over there. It's going to take him a long time to actually mine that one out, but the fact of the matter is that it is 3 base to 2. SOS has been able to lock these down, so overall, SOS may actually have the 0-3 comeback when he was down 2-0. Thought for sure that Scarlett was going to have him. Morling's trying to counterattack over here, but with the Warp and the Pylon in a perfect spot just to get those Zealots going, Scarlett is not going to be able to kill it off. She just does not have enough, and if she engages the Zealots over here, they do have +1 attack and +1 armor, making them that much more difficult to kill, but Scarlett definitely trying to do something ballsy here. I mean, she's got the +2 attack and the 2 armor, but 5 Ultras on the way. I don't know. It's got to be tough. It's got to be tough to pull that off. She does have Chitus playing on the way. There's Fungal number 1. Do need to keep chaining these Fungals together, though. Force fields once again going to be trapping those Lings, and I gotta say that the Fungals are nice. Can she keep landing them? You can kill sentries very, very easily with Fungals. You can see right there that a couple of them are going to explode, but it's got to be 2 bases here pretty soon to 3. It might even be 1 base to 3 if she's not too careful, because there's a lot of Zealots inside the main base. Not a whole lot left mining over here. Ultras are going to be spawning, but these Ultras will be spotted, and Scarlett about to win a battle, but guess what? Mass Recall is pretty good. SOS just has all the right cards, all the right moves, and I feel like I'm casting Hearthstone there for just a second, but he is able to escape and leave Scarlett in the dust. Scarlett never able to catch up. She knows that she has to go for it right now, and this is literally it. If she cannot get a perfect attack right now, a perfect sandwich, I don't know if this is possible, to be completely honest. Army supply is 75 to 78, so she does have a chance to do some damage here. But losing Infestors here and there is not the way to do it. She's trying to bait the army over the left side as the Ultras are kind of in that location. But the Queens, the angle's not looking good. She decides now, this is foobar. This has been absolutely blundered as Scarlett just crumbling here in the later stages of this best of 5. I gotta say, games number 1 and 2 looking good. Some of her games, it looked like she could have won as well, but game number 5 was just SOS, just annihilating her. There's really no other way to say it. I mean, just staying far ahead from the very, very beginning of the game. Scarlett doing everything she can to try and stay in this, trying to kill off the Nexus, but the Nexus goes down. I mean, it really doesn't matter because it's not like she's going to be getting a base up down here. And there's going to be the GG. Scarlett realizing that she did not stand a chance here as SOS does advance to the finals. Unfortunately for Scarlett, getting the very, very devastating 0-3 sweep at the very end there. She was up 2-0, then dropping games 3, 4, and 5. Not a good feel for a Protoss or a Zerg or a Terran. It doesn't matter who you are. That does not feel good. What does feel good, though, is being SOS. Now, I gotta say, Scarlett is actually having a really, really good year. She has placed very highly in a lot of tournaments, but she's also dropped some very important games. I mean, I think that StarCraft Invitational is a good example of that, where when she's playing her best, she is one of the best in the world, able to crush so many top Koreans, but when she kind of gets in her own head a little bit too much, when she gets a little bit too stressed out, I feel like these type of things can happen. I mean, even the mistakes of not being able to send that army in together to get the surround, she probably would have lost that battle regardless, but still you can just see not the most perfect of play there in the last game. But either way, congratulations to SOS for advancing to the finals. Hope you guys enjoy, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.